So, as usual, let's go to our roadmap page. In the wiki, MSI roadmap. So during the current week, we were working on implementing runtime calculation of stock quantity, taking into account the reservations. That story was assigned to Alessandra, and I believe Alessandra will start his presentation. After that, we will talk about next story regarding the default source and stock, and we had new contributor on board whose name is Bartek. He joined us on a contribution day before the Magento PL, so he will continue the presentation and show his work he contributed during this week. He actually delivered 4 pull requests. Pretty significant amount of work done. And after that, Valera will show some updates regarding the Travis build and show that now it's possible to track your changes and pass all the tests on a Travis builds, not locally. And I will show the contribution we are going to done for the Magento 2 branch. So I'm stop sharing my screen and give a word to the Alessandra, who will continue the presentation.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'll share my own screen. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what we are going to see now is how the reservation implementation is working up to date. What we do now is starting from a blank situation without any entity related to the stock. We create all the entities, and at the end we will see a demo of simulation of what will happen during checkout and other events like that, which have an impact on reservation and stock quantities. So first of all, let's go to the source management and let's insert some sources. As you know, the sources are the physical representation of product containers. I will call them warehouses, for example. So let me add new source. So, for example, for the purpose of this demo, I will insert 3 sources, starting from a warehouse in Milan. That's in Italy. So let's select Italy as country here, and let's use zip code, and let's create another warehouse in Italy. And let's call it, for example, warehouse Modena. And Modena, for those who don't know, is a place where they make Ferrari. So it's quite famous for who is passionate about cars. Okay, and for sake of completeness, let's create also a 3rd warehouse. Maybe in another country, for example, in Kiev. So it's an Ukrainian location. And okay, now we have created our 3 physical product sources that we will use later to associate product stocks to these sources. But before doing that, let's create our virtual aggregations that we call stock. Virtual aggregations represent, okay, these are our 3 warehouses. virtual aggregation are managed here are called stocks and represent the grouping of physical sources that will be bound to channel in the future. This is important to create because actually our API works with stock IDs. So for example, let's create an Italy stock and assign to the Italy stock only the warehouses that we created in Italy. That means the warehouse in Milano and in Modena. Okay. So, okay, this error is not related to stock module. It happens every now and then, but doesn't affect the functionality that we are working on. So let's create also the Ukraine stock, and let's associate our Kiev source, Kiev warehouse. It's important for us to have two stocks just to show you how aggregation of stock quantities works. Okay, so you can save and close. And what now I get note of is the ID of these stocks that we are creating, because we need them to run the demo in a few minutes. So the Italian stock ID is 6, and the Ukrainian stock ID is 7. Okay, now let's go to our product. We have to associate some quantities to our product. Okay, I have a sample product here. So what we're going to do is associating some quantity for this product in every warehouse that we have created. And since these are physical quantities, we have associate product quantities to physical sources. So first of all, I want to say that this product is available in all 3 sources that we created. And for each of these, I can define, for example, 100 in Milan, 50 in Italy, and 200 in Kiev. So this is basically all we need to define our product quantity. At this point, we can introduce the demo. Now I will intentionally generate an error just to show you something. Oh, so what I do is appending some reservations. That's something that will happen in the future, triggered by domain events, just like placing an order. But at the moment, the only way we have to simulate this is by invoking the service directly. So it asks me for a product. So I have this simple product. It asks me for a stock ID. So for example, let's say that we want to work with stock ID 6, that's Italian aggregation, and we have an error. Yes.
Sorry for interruption, but you made a typo in a product in the SKU. Okay.
Okay, but okay, thank you. Anyway, the demo wouldn't have run anyway because we have an error here. As you can see, we have the propagation of this low-level error up to the reservation. That's something that we will fix in the near future. What's missing here? We created our stock, but we didn't create the indexation. We didn't run the indexation process. So actually, Magento doesn't know anything about this stock data. And if I go to my database. Indeed, I filtered based on the inventory tables. I don't have the inventory stock tables. What I need to do is calling the indexation process that basically creates the index tables for each stock. Okay. Now, if I refresh, I see these two index tables created, one per each stock. This is the one for Italy that show our aggregation of Italian sources. And if you remember, we had 100 in Milan and 50 in Modena, and the total quantity of products is 150. And we also have this aggregation for the Ukrainian warehouse that has only one source with 200 products. So now I can run again the demo. This time I try to avoid making mistakes. Okay, this is my SKU. And I want to know how I want to work with stock number 6, that's Italian. In this moment, the reservation service is called that asks for the total quantity of simple product. The service that is used is this one that I show you. This is the interface of the service, get product quantity in stock interface. The actual implementation is this one. It delegates the calculation to two resource models that calculate in turn the total quantity in our stock, and this is taken from the index table, and the total quantity of reservation, and this is taken from the reservation table. I can show you that at this moment, we don't have any row in the reservation table. So we can continue with our demo. So here I can append reservations to my stock. And let's say, for example, that I receive an order that buys 5 simple products. But then let's assume, for example, that the user returns 3 products for some reason. Okay, I'm set. So at this point, the service tells me that we no more have 150 products, but we have 150 minus 5 plus 3. Okay, so the actual number of stock quantity is 150. Here in the reservation table, I have the 2 rows that I created. And let's pay attention that in the index table, we still have 150, even if I run the indexation here, because reservation aren't taken into account during indexation. Okay, I run reservation again. I refresh this data, but this data doesn't change because reservation is something that is calculated at runtime. So another thing that can be interesting to show is that if I run again the demo, and I ask you to work with simple product and with stock ID 6, it tells me as before that I have 148. And if I return 2 more of this product, the total quantity now here is 150, just like it was before, but I have in the reservation table 3 rows whose sum is 0. At this point, this means that these rows, this information is useless, and we will implement in the future a service that we will take the responsibility of wiping away useless rows from this table, preventing this table to grow indefinitely. And this will be a future task. Then I can show you, for example, if I delete these rows manually and save this deletion and run again the demo, the total quantity of simple product for stock 6 is 150. So this doesn't, deleting the rows that was sum for the same product in the same stock is 0, doesn't affect the calculation here. That's basically everything about this functionality. If you have any question, I can stop sharing my screen. Okay.
Mark, maybe you have any question regarding the functionality which was presented?
No, I don't think so. So at this point, everything looks good. So will we later have the ability to show there was reservations in the admin, or that's just something that I understand you showed in the database and from the command line?
Do you think we need to show the reservation in an admin panel?
Probably not.
Yeah, actually I agree with this statement. So it's something which help us for the calculation, so we just keep it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. So the next functionality would be presented by Bartek. So Bartek, can you share your screen and?
Yes. Okay. Okay, my task. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm from Poland. As it mentioned before, I participate in Contribution Day in Meet Magento Poland in Krakow, and it's quite fun. So I decided to make more, or try make more. So first, I introduce my options to manage stock, which is delete all rows, mass action, and delete single row on the detail stock page. As you can see, there is a drop down now, which has delete action, and tick box to select all in stock grid. Or deselect all. So first I show you delete from detail page of stock. There is delete stock button at the top of the toolbar, and if we click that, there is a pop-up, and we can cancel this action or proceed. When we click the button, there's information that the stock has been deleted, and the grid shows only 2 records instead of 3, and that's pretty all about deleting from detail page. And there is functionality to select all, in this case 2 rows at the same time, and delete them at once. There's also a pop-up with a question. So if we click, we have information that you deleted 2 stocks, and the grid should be empty. Yes, this is empty grid for stock. This is simple functionality, but I think it's necessary to add this in manage stock. And another task is introducing the new module, InventoryCatalog module, to better this is InventoryCatalog is a new module. This is a simple bridge between inventory and the catalog. This in the future, this module contains logic to better modularity of catalog and inventory, and action related to catalog and inventory. And in this task, I create a schema for inventory catalog model, and that's all what I make past week.
Okay, thank you, Bartek. It was a really nice presentation.
Sorry, it's my first time, so I little.
Everything great. Actually, your new module will help us to continue work for the default stock and default source concept. As I understand, you already took some tasks from that story regarding introducing the default source and stock model. So actually, yeah, that will help us to segregate concept of the inventory and the catalog inventory. So this new module will help us to make a more modular code, and all the catalog dependent code would not be located in the inventory module. So it's pretty important modularity change we are so the next story would be
yeah, Igor, I just had one question. So Bartek, that was really great.
Thank you.
So on our default grid actions, you demonstrated the mass action of delete, and we have select all, deselect all, and then select all on this page and deselect all on this page. Those will only display when there's more elements than can be displayed on the current pagination setting. So it's just something that we should test. In your grid example, you only had 3 items, so I would not expect those to show up. That's correct. But if you have more items than the page setting is, then we would see those other 2 options, that select all on this page or deselect all on this page.
This action will be appear if we have more elements than we can show on one page. There will be appear new options. So
Great. Yeah, that's what I would. That's exactly as I would expect. I was just one thing to test. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, I believe the Valera would be next. We will show the Travis build update.
Hi guys, during this week we also have worked on Travis build and we provide a few fixes, and I show a little example. As a result, I show a little example. I create some PR, and we can see that in this PR we have broken code style, we have failed integration test, and we have failed unit test. And as a result of these PRs, we can see go on Travis page. And we can see that we have broken unit test, and we have broken static test. More detail on job page. We can see which test was broken. We can see problem with our code style. And now we can rely on the result of Travis build. But we have some issue with integration test. We can see that integration jobs is green. I believe we will fix it shortly. But for static tests, for unit tests, we can track and rely on the result of our Travis build.
Yeah, guys. So it's probably a pretty good update for the contributors. So now when you are making a pull request, please pay attention for the Travis builds, because now Travis build is supposed to represent the current state of the testing, be on run on your pull request. So the testing will show the possible failure on unit test builds, on integrational test builds, and on static test builds. So you can check whether your code contribution not breaking anything in the existing Magento as well as existing MSI. Okay, so the last part probably I can show it. So today we delivered a pull request. So with actually this pull request not exactly to the MSI, but these are technical improvements for the Magento 2 development. So the pull request number 11003. And here we introducing a bunch of bug fixes and improvements we faced it with during the MSI development, and we decided that it would be pretty good to have them in a mainline. So it's going to be delivered to the 2.2.1 patch release, and all that bug fixes and improvements have been approved by Anton Krill. So one of the things we are going to deliver to the mainline is our small validation framework. So we have a description of that framework in our wiki page, and we had a small demo earlier regarding that validation and the possibility to return multiple exceptions and multiple errors out of our services. So we are going to deliver that possibility to the mainline as well. And so here we have a bunch of fixes for the problems we faced with during the MSI development. But it's gonna be delivered. So we created that pull request for the Magento 2.2, and we are not. So MSI is not blocking this delivery to the 2.2.1 because actually these are general stuff and not related to the MSI. So these are core improvements. And if you're interested, you can look through the improvements and see this, but actually most of that stuff already been presented on our presentations earlier. So actually this is the small update. Let's go to the page of the roadmap. So I believe we can I believe we will leave this story and would not cross it out now, because we have small story depth regarding the introduction of the integration test, and also we have a task regarding the cleaning out the reservation. So as Alessandro showed you, that we need to have a possibility to clean out reservation which will already been placed, and not to keep this storage of reservation increasing infinitely. So we would not close this story yet, but actually most of the business value provided by this story already was presented by Alessandro during this presentation. And we will continue working on a default source and default stock. So actually Bartek already showed you that we introduced new module, and actually all the development would be done in the scope of that module. So here we have this technical vision and the description of the story. So what's going to be done? Here you see the story task on a GitHub. So some of the tasks already finished, like introduction of new module, creation of new inventory catalog module, but we still have some additional tasks. So we will work on that story, and that would be our commitment for the next week. Okay, maybe Mark, do you have any other open questions to us?
No, I do not for now. There's been some talk of us. I might update this page to try and give us a very rough, based on these small, medium, large sizings, sort of a progress indicator of the phases, just to show how much we've gone through. That would just be a minor change to this page. I think this looks good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Guys, maybe maybe other participants have open questions.
I don't have a question, but I want to say this demo is awesome. I really enjoyed it. Keep it up, guys. It's pretty cool.
Okay, thanks. It's really nice to hear such feedbacks. Okay, and as I understand, Lars has a question regarding the testing framework and testing approach. I believe we can discuss it after this demo. So if there are no any other open questions, thank you for participation. Thank you for demoing and presenting story. It was really great. Thank you all the guys who were involved in the process, and thank you for your contribution. So thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.